guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foster Catching Cosplay, and today we are back again with you guys with Brazil, episode 8, season 2. What happened last episode?
Beatrice is part of the witch's cult.
Yeah,
apparently
she got weird association and weird engagement, but yeah.
She had one of the gospel and she's been freaking out over the fact that she's supposed to follow that gospel. She was saying that everything she did was according to the book, but then the tears and the freaking out made us think otherwise.
Yeah, let's say that saving Subaru wasn't part of the gospel.
Well, it could have been, but the banter and the show of emotion and stuff, I don't think so. So, hey baby, he never shows up on camera. You probably never see this guy.
Hi,
but yeah, he exists. Anyway, and he decided that today was a good day to just hide everything. So yeah, basically Elsa ended up killing Subaru again. He went back in time. He tried to do things differently, but then the way he acts and the smell of the witch, that's on him, basically put Garfield at odds with him. He suspected him, especially after he said, hey, I can try the trial,
I already passed the first one, so I can do the others.
Yeah, Garfield basically saw that, heard that, and he was like, well, this is suspicious. I'm gonna put you in a jail and leave you there till Emilia does the trial.
Which right now seems never.
Yeah. But Otto came up and he helped him, got him out, and with Ram's help, they are trying to put him out of the sanctuary before Garfield goes after him, which he is doing. He's turned into a beast and he's going after him, so run, Subaru. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
So, and Otto is a friend. Confirmed. Yeah.
Confirmed friendship.
Yes.
Friendship achieved.
Exactly.
That's right.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
In any case, so there's going to be a fight with Garfield this episode for sure. So let's jump into it and see what happens.
Let's just say that if Subaru does die, he knows what not to tell the next time.
He's still going to smell like the witch though, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go.
The Witcher Breed might become one of my favorite characters just because of how she's acting when she because she's so shy sometimes. Sometimes
she's a witch, right?
When things matter, she's gonna be there. I might be the only one that can listen to you. So tell me what you've been through, what you felt. I'm gonna listen. I'm there for you. I'm the Witch of Greece, so give me everything.
After what we've heard with Satella and the fact that witches are not, they're frowned upon a lot in this universe. You would expect, and even her, like when we first met her, it was kind of scary and she seemed a bit manipulative. But then how Subaru reacted to her was funny and stuff. And then ever since then, she seemed more. Not at peace or at ease, but she was opening up to Subaru. She was nice to him and stuff. So
let's just say that Subaru does have an effect on people who we speak to.
Well, but I'm just saying, we would assume that every witch is evil or something because of what we've heard in the universe, but she genuinely has a heart and she's done for him more than a lot of other people together. Like at one point, I was even thinking, careful, he might replace Emilia at one point, I don't know, or add someone to his item, I don't know, but it goes deeper than that. It's not even about affection, it's just about him finally being able to share his trauma.
I think that we already stated in the first season, but it's true that when you're doing things over and over again by death, and you see people that you care about and that you love dying over and over again and try to save them, that's a type of trauma. But it is such a huge trauma. But let's not forget that he couldn't say it to anyone, and by not saying it out loud, it's kind of easy for him to put it aside in his head and just not think about it and be strong in a way.
Yeah, but
when he was able to say it to Echidna that he's been able to return by death, it's like he opened a well. He opened a well and the water just come flowing and everything just came through the surface.
You opened a valve?
Yeah, sorry. He opened a valve. Sorry, my English is not good tonight. So he opened a valve, and everything is just flowing through him. All that it went through, all those emotions, all those pain.
When someone goes through some shitty stuff and has trauma and keeps it inside, like, one of the first step is to talk about it. And he's never had that. So in hindsight, he's never got the chance to heal from any of it. And it's not like he's healed now, but it's gotta be so fucking relieving to just finally get to say it. Because you go through a traumatic experience, you see someone die, for example, or you yourself suffer and get tortured, or I don't know, like, you go through a bit of what he's been through, and people will automatically act differently towards you. They will talk to you differently, they will assume things differently. Everything is going to change because they consider you broken and hurt, and they will act accordingly. Like, if you have a broken arm, I won't, like, hit you in the arm or shake your arm or anything. Like, I won't do anything to your arm because I know it's broken. In his case, it's his soul that's broken, but no one knows about it because no one remembers, so they keep acting like he's not broken. So they shake the arm, they hit the arm, they don't give a shit because they don't know.
Yeah. So
he gets to live with that, knowing what happened or what could have happened, and it takes a huge toll on him. And it's not just, the trauma of seeing people die or the physical, the pain that he goes through every time he dies. It's the fear of dying every single time because he feels it. It's also the personal awakening of what type of person he is. Like, he's changed a lot from the first episode, how he acted, how he saw himself, and how he acts now, and how he sees himself now. True. It's the fear of all the horrible things he's seen. Like, he's been killed by a bunch of bunnies. He's been eaten alive!
Seriously, that scene reminded me so much of the one that we saw in The Mummy with the beetles.
Kinda.
Like, being eaten alive from the inside and out. It's like, ugh.
And that's the thing is, like,
disgustingly amazing to watch, to be honest.
But most of the time he has to go through this without even knowing why he got to this point. Like, in this case especially, like, he has no idea what happened, what brought him there. We know it has to do with the crystal, but then when was he, where was he, and what happened to the others? As he jumped in time, and since, technically his checkpoint has to do with how much time has passed since he woke up, he got brought back to the first checkpoint, and if he has jumped in time, like, what's gonna happen? Because this is terrifying. And if it wasn't a jump in time, like, which dimension was this? Very scary. And, like, you have to go, there's a difference between, getting tortured with, knowing why you get tortured. Like, if you want to defend someone, protect someone, and you go through pain, knowing why you go through that, it's kind of giving you motivation and willpower to support it. But then if you just get hurt for the sake of getting hurt, I mean, you have nothing to keep you standing from that pain and that trauma, so you crumble. That's what's been going on with him, like, all this fucking time.
It is true that when we compare when he died by Elsa's hand versus the bunny's teeth, with Elsa, that he needs to find a way to defeat her and make sure that those he care about are staying safe and no one died. But with the bunnies, or any situation where you just...
With the bunnies.
The bunnies, or any situation where you just went through shit and pain and blood for just nothing, no reason whatsoever, it's just so painful to watch because he doesn't know how to handle it, basically. You just need to suffer through it.
And, I mean, the show... And I mean, the circumstances just expect him to throw that away and forget about it because it's not relevant anymore, or it's not, it doesn't affect the people around him because it never happened for them. So he just has to forget and move on, but it's not possible. So yeah, like, we would expect the witch to be mean and evil and stuff, but then to have her be this amazing, present this amazing opportunity for Subaru to just finally say all of that. It's not gonna heal him, but gosh, is it gonna give him a friend to talk to and to at least, validate his experiences, validate what he's been through. Because it's true that one of the worst thing that can happen when you go through what he's going through is that it kind of takes away credibility Like, oh, they don't remember it happening, so it never happened. So then why am I freaking out about, why am I freaking out? I shouldn't even worry about this because it never happened. It's not true, but it could be an effect of him constantly being surrounded by people who act like nothing happened. So to have someone acknowledge that it did happen, that he's not crazy, that he's been suffering for a reason, it's gotta make him feel like all sorts of relief. And like it's gotta take a huge weight off of his shoulders. So yes, and for this to come from a witch is what's making me like all weird, but
which is making me thinking about something. Do you think that there might be the slightly possibility that Satella might not be the evil witch that we think she is?
Well, I mean, she's making him go through this, and she killed all the other witches. Like, I think she's evil, but like because of her, we automatically, like, I'm not saying that the other witches never did anything wrong, but because of Satella, we automatically assumed that all the witches were the same.
Yeah, I think that maybe there's something else behind what she did. Maybe she's not just all evil witch,
Well, Satella, I can't tell, but
like,
Echidna,
who would
I can
say that if she didn't do those things, maybe the world would have him, You know what?
If she didn't do those things.
If she didn't do everything that she did, maybe the whole world would have ended.
We don't know about Satella.
So we don't know the whole story.
We heard her, and she's playing with Subaru. She's been playing with him forever, so she's not... I don't think she's nice or anything. Like, I think she... We will see. We need to... we never really talked to her. We never saw her, so we can't tell. But what we can tell is that Echidna, at the very least, has also a good side. Like, no matter what she might have done, or no matter how she might have acted, she at least has a possibility to be good to Subaru, and that's huge, especially considering what it's giving him.
I want to go back to the bunnies for a sec, because I think that there might be something behind the fact that they remind me so much of Ram, with the red eye pink around them and the little horn on their forehead.
Well, I mean,
I don't know why, but she's
not the only one with a horn. Like, beasts have horns and demons and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but
and they had like the seal under. I don't remember. I gotta admit, I don't remember. But like how it got used in the first season. But they had the seal on their leg.
Yeah, did it belong to someone?
Maybe, but something made them do this. Like someone is controlling them, or sending them there, or I don't know. But like there is further explanation behind what happened. It's just that right now Subaru is not in any state to understand it.
Yeah.
So we will see, but like it's not random. And the fact that it was snowing and stuff, like what we don't know, like is it in the future? Is it gonna happen? Is it something he needs to prevent? Or is something like what happened with Puck happening again?
Yeah.
So in that case, is Emilia dead? Because Puck made it snow and stuff when Emilia died, he lost it. So
I really don't know, guys.
So many questions, but then I want to figure out what happened because that was disturbing as fuck.
Before we end this conversation, I'd like to go back to what Otto and what the villagers did for Subaru.
Oh, that's...
Because we don't talk about them so much, but in a way, it is true that Subaru kind of grew on them, and they grew fond of him. And to see them just doing their best to try to protect him and be sure that he can escape from the barrier, it's just really nice and sad.
As much, they don't know about his journey, but what it made me think about is that Subaru keeps dying for all these people, and then for once they were willing to die for him, and that made me feel like, you grew, like you said, he grew on them so much, and they love that kid, and they want to support him, they want to protect him, and they don't know that when he dies, he goes back in time, but he is so willing to, like Otto said, do crazy things for all these people. He never wants others to do the same. He doesn't expect them to do the same, and he doesn't want them to do the same. With good reason. Like, they don't go back in time when they die, and they don't know about it. But just to see how willing they all were to die for him, it's gotta mean a lot for Subaru. Even though, like, right now he's more focused on trauma, they all died, like... And Garfield, like, losing it, I'm pretty sure he's not in control when he's that beast, But he is terrifying, so try not to anger him, piss him off when you go back in this
Well,
fourth timeline.
That's gonna be difficult because it's kind of always paced off, you know?
No, but it's the first time that Garfield has actively done something against Subaru, but he doesn't like him. Like, the very first timeline was the best one for these two because he saw how Emilia was hurt and he shared that pain and kind of wanted Subaru to maybe do it in her place. So if it comes from him, try to do the trials, it works. But if Subaru, starts conversation with, I want to try the trials, he's going to reject that.
So that's suspicious.
So, yeah. Well, now he thinks it's suspicious because of the second time when he said, I can do the trials, let me do them. I think it was more pride, because for some reason he cannot do the trial as Garfield. So I think to have Subaru, a guy he doesn't like, just come up and say, hey, I can do the trials, like, I can save you all. It was more about pride, but this time he smelled a lot like the witch, and he came up with this and stuff, so suspicions and anger, hence the fight, but...
Yeah, it's never the right time.
And with Garfield, that's the thing, like, every time he goes back in time, people are usually in the same spot, they're doing the same thing, they're saying the same things. It's easy for Subaru to navigate in between all these people, but Garfield has always been different in every timeline. So he's a loose cannon. We don't know what to expect from him, so we don't know how he's going to react later on. Like, he could be completely different in the next timeline. You could help him out, and then you switch and he's trying to kill him, you know?
Yeah, that might be causing a problem.
It is a problem.
Yeah, that might be a problem indeed.
But yeah, so Subaru needs to think about this. Try to, find a way to not get Garfield on his back about this. I know, like, I loved him trying to give Emilia time to choose to do the trial, because when people's lives are depending on her succeeding, she's pushing herself and she's trying to, go through her trauma and her past as fast as possible because people depend on her. For Subaru to help everyone else and then give her the chance to do it in her own time, it's nice. Of course, the show is not going to allow it, but it was nice. Maybe the best solution is for him to do the trials as fast as possible, kind of like he did the first one, without saying anything. But then people will notice, so I don't know how that could be achieved. Maybe now that he's friends with Echidna, she can help. We will see. Anyway, that was a disturbing episode, but I loved it, so...
Oh,
yeah! So we move on. If we can. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out right now. The link is in the description.
Yep, and if you don't want it, you can wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week, if we don't die before that, guys.
Bye.